To our reporter, Murimi Mwangi, who's still in Parliament buildings. Murimi Mwangi, from where you are, what is happening?
Well, the final day for Kenyans to get the opportunity to view the body of the former president, that culminating in the 7 days of national mourning up until today, and also key leaders in the country also streaming in here to just pay their final respect to Mzee. Some of these being the Kenya National Union of Teachers officials. You remember that part of what will be presumed to be Moi's legacy was his input in the industry, the same sector that produced him for the national leadership, that being the education sector. And I am here with the NAT officials, including their Secretary General Wilson Sossion. Perhaps if we could begin from your reflections when you viewed his body there right inside Parliament. What did you remember most about him and his input in your education sector?
Our greatest reflection is a bold, brave man who understood the natural rights and desires of children through teachers, considering the fact that this was one of an exemplary teachers we had in the teaching service during the colonial periods, and was identified and forwarded to represent Rift Valley at Lechco by the Provincial Director of Education, Mudamba Mudavadi Moses, at that time. And within a very short time in Parliament, during the colonial period, together with other teachers who were in Parliament, members of Lechco, moved a freelance motion that the government of Kenya should have the teachers to form one common body. It is a motion that sailed through with ease in Parliament. So that is no mean achievement for a man of that stature during the colonial period to invest his time, his efforts to bring together, because he saw the drive of education would only be through teachers and strong teachers, organized teachers. And that is why we had, after the motion sailed through, the Minister for Education of the colonial government, Mr. Walter Coates, was compelled by that parliamentary resolution to convene a teachers' meeting at Bumwani DEB School on 4th of December 1954. And henceforth that heralded the birth of Kenya National Union of Teachers. And to date, the history of the union and its activities is known. The struggles it made is known. And that is translated to the overall quality education in Kenya. And if you look at it globally, if we compare, because countries, nations overall in the world are compared in terms of quality, that is what we call global competitiveness. And Kenya has ranked among the top 30 nations in the world in terms of delivery of quality education. This also takes us back to the hallmark of the opportunity that Moi had as a president. The number one priority of President Moi was welfare of education and delivery of quality education. You could not talk about education to Moi without talking about quality.
And perhaps so, if I was to pick it from there, just so that we put it in context in the present circumstances in which we find ourselves in, what is it that you as union officials and education enthusiasts feel was lost when Moi passed away? What would you say Kenya has lost in terms of the education campus?
Not really when Moi passed away. The question is, what is it that we lost when Moi exited national leadership in this country, and which we are likely to lose even after he is passed on? His hallmark was quality education and a strong and professional education system. Moi was present everywhere in the country. He would visit students in school, inspire students. And Moi was very, very clear in terms of professionalism in the Ministry of Education. He built a strong professional management of education, and even the Quality Assurance Department, the Inspectorate. I think that is one area we want to focus on. is an area that we have lost since Moi retired. In fact, Moi would not receive a national report on quality of education through the minister. It was the work of the chief inspector of schools with a battery of professional inspectors. This is a department that we have lost over time. And what has gripped in is cartels and casual activities in the sector. No wonder we are facing very many calamities. We see fires in schools. We see buildings collapsing because they've not gone through the prerequisite quality assurance control of public works, public health, and the inspectorate section of the ministry. And I think where we are in 2019, 2020, even as we celebrate Moi, let us identify the great values that is stood for and we might have lost. And for us as Kenya National Union of Teachers, since Moi retired, and we have lost the inspectorate section, the quality assurance system, and rarely do we get activities in schools quality assured and managed by the inspectorate section. This is one aspect that will be calling on the government of the Republic of Kenya to fully restore the inspectorate section of the ministry so that we don't operate through guesswork, so that we can drive out cartels that are faster taking control of the ministry and risking the lives of children. Moi would not allow any child to die. That would be the most serious offense in this country. And I think from this point, moving on, our schools should be secure, and the mark of quality and ensuring that the nation delivers on quality education for all children who must all be safe and secure in schools is achieved within the framework of Sustainable Development Agenda number 4.
NAT Secretary General Wilson Sossion giving us reflections on the education sector and Moi, and this is a conversation we'll continue to have as this period continues, awaiting the send-off ceremony. Thank you so much for your time, Katibu. And perhaps, Brenda, before I hand it over back to you, there is a gentleman that has been quite patiently waiting to just talk to us. He came